Viral ngayon ang interview kay Vice President Sara Duterte diyan sa foreign media. Naku, maraming napabilib dyan sa mga sagutan ni VP Sara. Pwede na daw na maging Pangulo ng Pilipinas. Kasi yung iba dyan, pag sumagot, Naku, napag-usapan po dyan tungkol po dito sa pagkidnap di umano kay dating Pangulong Duterte para dalhin sa ICC. Naku, dun yun nakakaya ito. Akalain mo sa foreign media mismo yan, kung saan maraming nakapanood international. Eto, panoorin po natin ang video.
Now joined live from Manila by the Vice President of the Philippines, Sara Duterte. Many thanks for joining us on the program. It's a pleasure to have you with us. So it's been over 100 days since your father, the former President Rodrigo Duterte, was detained by authorities for the ICC. The Philippines officially cut ties with the ICC in March 2019. So how does that affect the legitimacy of this detention, in your opinion?
Thank you for having me. Good day, everyone. Well, that is precisely the question that was submitted by the defense team of former President Rodrigo Duterte to the ICC. The question on jurisdiction, particularly because they conducted the investigation 2 years after the withdrawal of the Philippines as a member of the ICC, and therefore is already prescribed.
And do you see any political motives for the case against Mr. Duterte?
Well, yes, because before his detention, former President Duterte was a staunch critic of the Marcos administrations. There are serious allegations and questions about his competency and allegations about drug abuse that came from the former President Duterte. And before his detention, there was preparation by the former president of a campaign for his senatorial candidates for the PDP, his political party.
Talk us through how this case has affected your father and affected your family, really, and on a personal and a political level.
Well, the last time that I talked to my father, he always said that you make your own history in this world, and he leaves it all up to God, whatever will happen to him. And he also said that he did what is best for his country, rightly or wrongly. As for the family, we have been more closer now. The quirk about our family is that we forget our personal differences if we have a common adversary, and at that moment that is President Bongbong Marcos.
Bongbong Marcos.
You and your family have said many times that this arrest warrant is illegal, but the ICC is an international court, so where do you even go to appeal?
There was a Senate investigation that was conducted by Senator Amy Marcos and was supported by some of the senators in the Philippine Senate. And she submitted her findings to the Ombudsman here in the Philippines, and she recommended filing charges against the individual who implemented the rendition on former President Duterte.
You recently argued that your father should be permitted an interim release to a third country because of his age. He's 80 years old. What is his current condition at the moment, and what sort of toll is this case taking on him?
At the moment, he's in his thinnest. You've never seen him this thin. I've seen him from pictures when he was single, and that was the thinnest that I've seen him, and this is about the same at the time. I lost so much weight, and he has a problem with the cold and the weather in The Hague, and then he has of course he has no appetite because the way that the food is cooked is not really the same as traditional Filipino dishes, and of course there is that longing to be with familiar faces, family and friends. So there are certain days that it's a good day, and there are certain days that it's a bad day. So yes.
The ICC, let's talk about the charges against him now. The ICC detained your father on charges that he was responsible for crimes against his people, but it seems he remains deeply popular during this time. He's been elected as mayor of the city of Davao. So clearly some Filipinos still support him. What does that say about the ICC's continued detention of him, in your opinion?
Well, as I said, the ICC is all about human rights and justice, and we don't see it in the case of former President Rodrigo Duterte. He has been in detention for more than 100 days without recourse for bail, and now his petition for interim release has been vigorously opposed without a legal reason. by the prosecution. He has already stated in his brief that he is not a flight risk because of his age. If you can see the footage where he was pushed up the plane, he really had no strength at all to resist, and he doesn't intend to intimidate witnesses. He hasn't done that. He's been mayor. He hasn't done that. He was president when the ICC case was filed. He hasn't done anything at all with the witnesses. We all know the list of witnesses because we have information coming in from the investigations conducted by ICC investigators here in the Philippines, and he hasn't done anything. For the past 2 years, we've been telling him to prepare for the ICC case, but he said that it's all crap, it's nothing. And clearly, when we heard the charges, we found out that it's really nothing. It's 43 counts of murder. That's not even close to crimes against humanity.
It must be an incredibly stressful time for you and your family. What message would you send to Filipinos around the world who continue to support your father?
Yes, in fact, majority of the Filipinos in the Philippines continue to support former President Duterte. A lot of them pray for his return to Davao City, and a lot of them pray that he will be acquitted of the charges. And we thank the Filipino communities around the world for their prayers. It is a big help, and it helps President Duterte to know that Filipinos regularly visit The Hague, even if they are just outside the detention unit, and Filipinos regularly conduct rallies so that the world will listen of the injustice that is done to him by the ICC.
And indeed, you have your own concerns currently with an impeachment process against you in the Philippines. You say it's politically motivated. Explain to us, what could these motives be exactly, and who do you think could be behind this?
Well, it's all about the refusal or the intent of President Marcos. It is the intent of President Marcos not to step down. He wants to perpetuate himself or his family in power. It is clear from the moves of his administration against political opponents. And in fact, one of his relatives, and this is a personal knowledge of mine, has expressed that he wants to run for president. This all started with the People's Initiative, wherein they wanted to amend the constitution to shift into a parliamentary form of government where the prime minister is not voted by popular choice. When they failed in this, they started the impeachment, and clearly evidence shows that the members of the House of Representatives, many of them who signed, did not read the articles of impeachment. And one particular member of the House of Representatives already said publicly that there was money in exchange for the signatures in the articles of impeachment. Because I am the front runner in the presidential race in 2028, the survey shows that. And I think they want to eliminate the front runner.
Ayan na, tambi. Yan, ginuking din kayo dyan sa foreign media ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Hindi lang pala si Junior. Kaya ang masasabi ko lang, more interview ni Vice President Sara Duterte dyan sa mga foreign media. Kasi sila naman nag-umpisa na ipadala si dating Pangulong Duterte sa ICC. Ngayon napag-usapan na po yan sa iba't ibang bansa tungkol po dyan sa issue na yan. Kaya mas mabuti pa ay magkaroon ng paliwanag si VP Sara Duterte dyan sa iba't ibang bansa para makarating din naman at mapag-usapan kung tama ang ginagawa ni Tambi at ni Junior. Diba? Ngayon, ito po ang komento po ng mga nakapanood niyan ay ang sabi ni Ken Chris, galing talaga ni Inday, ito talaga bagay maging presidente sa 2028 na yan. Kaya pinipigilan nila, may pa-impeach pang nalalaman tong mga to, no? Sabi ni Lynn Asapmil, yung isa interviewin ay puro utal. O, di ba? Utal na utal, mayroon pang paganyan-ganyan. Sabi ni Lito Cruz Paraiso, more foreign media. Interview to VP Sara para maipakalat ang mga kumidnap ng live kay Tatay Digong. Marami po nga natuwa po dyan sa ginawa po ni Vice President Sara Duterte na nagpa-interview po siya sa foreign media at asahan po natin na mapag-usapan lalo at may ibang mag-interview kay BP Sara Duterte. Kasi yung ibang media natin dito, anong balita nila? Dapat naman may mga ganyan kayong interview na naipaliwanag lahat-lahat. Naipaliwanag ni BP Sara lahat-lahat. Malinaw na malinaw ang paliwanag ni BP Sara kung bakit nagkakaganito nakarating tayo sa ICC na yan. Ako Dunyor, nako Tambi, mukhang highlight kayo dyan ha.
Sana all.
Hanggang dito na lang, thank you. Bye-bye.